Hello, everyone. Cindy here with Create Your Own Luck in Love. And I'm so excited to talk to you guys today about something that's really hot in the dating world right now, or not so hot, not so fun, right? It's the idea of being ghosted. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever been ghosted. Give me a thumbs down if you've never been ghosted. I'm curious. I'd like to know. So, first off, I wanted to chat. I wanted to chat with you guys. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. So, anyways, so first off, I wanted to dive in and chat all about this. Please feel free to post your questions, comments, anything that comes up for you around this stuff, because I know that it can be, not only frustrating, but it can feel disheartening. So there are different kinds of ghosting that happens. So the first ghosting that can happen is if you're on an online dating app or on an online dating site, and then you're chatting with someone, it seems to be turning into a date, and then poof, they disappear, right? So that's one. A second one is maybe you've gone out on a couple of dates and then they disappear. And then the third kind is, you might have guessed it, you've gone out on a number of dates, or you're dating someone regularly, and thanks for all the hearts and the thumbs up, guys. And the thing that's happening right now is that he ghosts you. He stopped communication. So all of this can be a little bit hurtful. There's a statistic out there, a study that says 50% of people that are dating have been ghosted. And so somewhere along the process. So I want to give you some insider scoop as to why this happens and give you a little challenge around that. Have you ever ghosted anyone? Have you ever just not responded back, not communicated? And I'm talking about if you've started communicating with someone and then you just stopped communicating. So think about that for a second. Now, ghosting is known in our society and pretty much I feel is a passive aggressive way of dating and relating. So why do people do it? Number one, they don't know what to say and they don't know how to handle it. There's fear involved of if they tell you that they're not ready to move forward, or they don't really see a fit, that you might hate them and you might be thinking, well, I'm going to hate him anyways if he ghosts me, right? But really beyond that, if they've had an adverse reaction in the past to ending something, or stop not continuing a relationship, then they're going to be more apt to ghost because they're projecting their feelings, right? Some people are not that way. Some men, women have a different form of emotional intelligence that is straightforward and they can handle it either way. So there's some fear factor underneath why people ghost. Or, some people feel like if you've gone out a couple times, you're not owed an explanation. And that's just how they feel. And let me know if you agree or disagree with this. If you've gone out with somebody a couple times, maybe you kind of like him, and he doesn't reach out to you again, he doesn't either ask you out or tell you what's going on. Let me know what you think about that and what you would prefer to have happen. So, I've known women that have had both happen, where the man didn't ghost her, but he said, hey, look, I'm just not seeing enough commonalities, or I'm seeing some things that I don't know that we would be compatible with for the long term. So, and just like you having a fabulous 5 and being very, very conscious of what you're bringing in, he has the right to do the same. So it's not personal. It's not about you. I actually look at this as a way of being empowered. And a lot of times when this happens, it sucks, frankly, you guys, because we live in a digital world that is conducive to not responding, getting busy, forgetting, right? Getting, seeing the next bright and shiny object out there. And so there tends to be a lot going on, right? And I actually have tools for my clients in my Love VIP intensive programs and my Infinite Love program around how to mitigate this when you're in the dating process. I had a client of mine that dated a man for almost a year, and he ghosted her after 10 months of being together. And she tried reaching out to him. He didn't respond. And, one of the things that we did is we uncovered his patterns. You see, you guys, it's when you meet somebody on a first or second date, I talk about this a lot, especially a man, you can tell the way within which he handles dating and relating. Because if you find out some information about him, let me give you an example of this. For example, this man had told her in the very beginning that the woman that he had dated before her, he felt like it wasn't going to work out, so he stopped calling her. Well, she figured, wow, you were ghosted after 8 months. That's horrible. So she figured, right, she made an assumption that, it had just faded out over time, not that he made a decision, didn't communicate, right, and cut bait. So, and that's pretty painful. And as we started, peeling back the onion layers, I call it, we discovered that, this was a pattern of his. And so, when you first meet someone, as you're getting to know them, you find out what their patterns are early on. If you said, I just stopped calling her, well, what did that look like? Did you, had you had a conversation about not thinking it would work? Or, how did you break up? Right? Those are really good questions to ask on the first couple of dates. And if you get connected and seek to understand and accept that person, they're going to be very apt to open up to you, man or woman, actually. And usually there's some signs around somebody that's ghosting. Usually it's someone that might be a little inconsistent, in their behavior. Maybe they're not certain of something. And so that in and of itself is pretty, it calls for you. Sorry, try to talk today, you guys. It calls for you to be more conscious of what's happening. So if someone is, in and out, not seeming fully connected to the relationship, you can actually have conversations about that and see where they're at, giving them permission to show up in a way that is, really finding out where they're at, giving them permission to show up. And so if ghosting is happening, and for women I know especially, it can be pretty painful because women really hate it when they don't have closure, because they start to, and men do this too, but they start to beat themselves up, start to think, well, maybe had I done this differently, he wouldn't have ghosted me, or this wouldn't have happened, right? So what I encourage you to do is come from a place of empowerment. Think, okay, this is an opportunity, right? And this is why I recommend, especially in the beginning, that you date multiple people. You're getting to know multiple people. If it's a pattern that you're getting ghosted after a couple of dates, I would encourage you to talk to me, because there might be something that's going on that's subtle that could be tweaked, that could totally shift your experience around. Or maybe there's a way of being that's happening. Maybe you get invested really quickly and a man senses that and it scares him off. Or you're meeting men that aren't really in line with you in the first place, and they pick that up. I don't know, but there's usually a couple of things. It's you're out of alignment, they're out of alignment, and there's a combination happening. But nonetheless, being ghosted, especially nowadays, is so common because it's so much easier to do. It's easy to do because many people meet online. A lot of the times, you don't have common friends, or you didn't meet through a mutual friend. And, so it's kind of like there's no harm, no foul. They don't, they don't owe you anything, so to speak, which unfortunately it's kind of a crappy way of looking at it, but it's true. It does happen. So what I want to recommend about this whole thing around dating, relating, and being ghosted is use it as empowerment. Use it as information for you to go, okay, so this person clearly isn't my person. I would not choose to treat someone that way. And if you have, it's feedback for you, because oftentimes the way we've shown up gets shown back to us, right? Does that make sense? So it becomes a mirror of you. So if in any way you've shown up with this way of being, it gives you an opportunity to shift and think, well, how would I want to be treated? And also put yourself in the other person's shoes and think, okay, so what must they be thinking? And perhaps they've gone through some things in the past that haven't been as pleasant, or with a woman that wasn't as easy to deal with, right? So you want to make sure that, ladies, if you get ghosted, let it go. If the guy doesn't reach back out to you for a third or fourth date, just let it go and, say to God, to the universe, whatever you believe in, that I'm leaving room for the right person. I'm opening up my heart for the right person. And this gives me extra space. So looking at that, right? And if it's been a few months or several months and it happens, look at what might be going on a deeper level. Was this person going through some things? Is it hard for them to open up? And typically it's a fear of communication, a fear of not, just it's fear. So, or it's frankly, you weren't that important to them to give you the respect to have a conversation. And that should empower you into the space of, yes, I'm inviting in the right person, one person that is aligned with me, that wants to communicate with me, and that is taking time and consideration to cultivate and grow a relationship, right? So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, anything else you'd like me to discuss around this, because I could go for days around ghosting. And, just know at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for you to actually invite in the right person. All right, sending so much love. Happy Monday. See you tomorrow, 12:30 Pacific. Just as a heads up and reminder, everything is at 12:30 Pacific this week because I get to shift my schedule just a bit. So 12:30 Pacific, I'm here sending you so much love, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.